Guys, welcome back to another video where we run through the matchups for the week out of my model that I've been refining for a couple of years. I understand more and more people may watch this and may not, so I want to just explain a few of the key things just to kind of help clear any confusion when it comes to the model. I did actually start recording this and I ended up going off into the deep end talking about like accuracy and why like certain bands of results are more important, and just realized like that's not a value to the everyday person, right? And like I'm not a data scientist, so my explanation of it may not be the best explanation for you either. So I'm just going to share a screen quickly. We're going to go through this as we do each week, and that's why it's valuable to watch the video, because someone like Matt Duffy hasn't been named this week, but he's pulling through in the data due to how challenging it is to keep up with the NRL, like jersey swaps and injuries, and not wanting to like remove players or put them on hold because of the fact they're on the bench and I want them to still be captured. It's a whole thing. It takes a lot of work, a lot of hours. So sometimes there will be names that are incorrect in the matchup graphics. Just use your common sense. Of course, Jai Gray might not share the exact statistical profile as Matt Duffy, but his opportunity probably still pretty good. If Duffy's pulling through an elite matchup, things could still probably look pretty good for Jai Gray if he gets the start at fullback. So just need common sense when you see some of these things. Yeah, so guns, elites, that's basically just an explanation of that. What we're really saying here, if I was to explain this to my dad, which I have because, you know, he shows interest in NRL, which I love, is that basically matchups are a ranking, right? This, and I'm not the only one or the first one to do this, but my model's a bit more nuanced than others, but Dylan Edwards has the best matchup out of other fullbacks this week, and what that means to you and me as people who use this information is on a balance of how he's performed this year and recently, and how the defense that he's playing this upcoming week in round 10, how they've defended this year and recently, because currency is really important. More on that another time. Dylan Edwards has the best chance of 6 out of 16 other fullbacks to like outscore his average or outscore them or perform well. Basically, if you've got Dylan Edwards, have confidence in him. He could go really well. Operative word, he could also go bad. Things don't always hit. What I like though is when pedigree players pop up in gun, and most importantly even elite. Gun is like, look at Latrell, he's been gun for weeks because he's literally a freak. He's dominating. The model can't deny what Latrell's doing. His projections went from 98 to 110 to 120. This week he's projected to score 150 because the data is overwhelming right now for Latrell. I would temper that because I'm realistic. I've played Supercoach for 10 years, whatever. I know that like, oh, he probably won't score 150, but the model is one side of the story, what we know to be true, and our NRL knowledge is another side of the story. But basically, these guys, hey, they all have a shot of hitting upside. Sometimes I fail a guy who had a bad match, who didn't go well in a gun matchup. He still scored a try. And it's like, damn, if he had done a bit more, he gets a gun matchup. I get an accuracy tick in my data, but because he didn't do anything other than score a try, it's like scoring a try. That's like the ultimate thing, right, for a matchup, right? If you're a gambler, you're like, oh, ATS, bloody hell. Elite is the same. These guys can be a bee's dick from these guys in terms of the overall way that my matchup data is calculated. But these guys just come out on top at whether it's by a small margin or a large margin. I would always view these all together and go, these names are all looking good to maybe do good. And I'll show you a little bit more right now. God, I'm terrible with the technology. I just went to pause it and then stopped, and then now I'm re-recording, so hopefully it doesn't glitch out when I piece these two together. But basically, I went off on the deep end in the last recording of this, blah, 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 going into stuff. It's too complex. It's too hard to articulate. Basically, right now, things are tracking pretty well. You're going to see this go, oh, 50%, that's not good. No, trust me, anything above 40% is solid. Anything above 45, I'm happy with. Anything above 50, I'm like stoked. If I go above 65, I'm worried, right? Because what that means is my band of what I consider to be a good outcome or a hit on a call out of the data, which again is actuals, it's not even like predictive, but yeah, and more on that another time. I'm happy with, right? I just want to be 50 or higher. I'm cool with 45. I'm fine with 40 above. I'm like, okay, maybe need to like calibrate, look at some different things. So far, we're doing good this year. This was a bit crazy. 61 to 61. I was like, that's a bit crazy. That's because Latrell and so who was it 2 weeks ago that had a gun match? It was like Dylan Edwards, right? The system said gun matchup. And he like scored the 150, 60, whatever it was. So really cool. But down here's what you need to know. 63% of gun matchups have been hitting this year. Amazingly, 69% of elite matchups have been hitting here. It is a larger quantity, but that doesn't really change the percent, so that's cool. Favourables are good too, guys. These are all doing real good. Tough and avoids are where the overall model gets dragged down. There's a whole nuance to the way we determine if someone is like if a tough or avoid matchup hits. It's really hard because if someone's averaging 55 and you say it's going to be a tough matchup and they just like play mediocrely and then like randomly hit a line break or it's just something, maybe they throw a few more offloads that week, then they don't hit the tough or avoid, but like they may not have like had that dominant gun or elite style game, so it is a miss. It's a miss, right? But you can see what I'm getting at. Like you're still happy as this is the crazy thing. You're still happy as a Supercoach player if your toughs or avoid if they hit. But then what we're trying to do is like manage sit starts. So we want tough and avoids to hit and to be them to score below their average or in the bottom segment of that positional category. So it's really tough, but this gives you a background, guys, into what you're seeing in those graphics. Use your common sense, balance the data with this video and then your own thinking and gut feel. But it's cool to see that overall, if your players that you like have these setups, hey, there's a good, I wouldn't even say a great chance, I'd just say like, hey, they could go well. Like, that's cool, right? Like, there's a bit of information. I'm going to start this guy. He's got the elite matchup, the gun matchup. As long as he's not materially way worse than the other guy. Like, remember, pedigree comes first. Play your guns, play your players in draft, especially, like, I overthought Jacob Preston a few weeks ago. I sat him against Penrith. Dude, he scored 120. You can't predict everything, right? So just balance it. I want to show you this to know this is being tracked. No one else is doing this. Projections on other platforms and stuff, they'll just throw numbers at you. Supercoach have projections. Where's the accuracy? Where is the reporting? Where's the accountability? You're looking at it right now, guys. Look at this. 84 gun calls, 53 hits, 31 misses, 4 voids. That's if they like get injured or something else goes on. Here it is. You know what I mean? Positions is interesting. What blows my mind is halves. Really strong signal. Conflicts I won't go into. It's very complex. It's a whole thing. I don't even want to go into it because I like seriously forget how to talk about it. But yeah, it's all being tracked. I can do more on this later if people are really interested in this. It helps my model get better. It helps my calibration get better. I don't want to oversell it either. Like you could just say like, oh, it's a hit if they, I don't know, score above 55. It's like, that's crazy. I don't do that. I work in bands. But I want to show you guys this to know it is being done in the background. If people are seeing this, that I have the integrity to do that. And yeah, I want it to get better. And also, it'll never be perfect. And I'm cool with it not being perfect. Some people think really black and white in life, right? And I can tell that when they can't. If you don't deal with data very often, you can get worked up when looking at matchups and forecasts and the toughest one, is player projections, right? You can get worked up. It's never going to be perfect. It's a part of a meal, right? It's just a component in the meal of you making your Supercoach decisions. But yeah, if you really struggle with this stuff, then avoid data if you can't kind of take it in and let it be part of a story. But yeah, you need to make sure as well, if you are relying on data, that they have some accountability, some integrity to show you accuracy and whatnot, which I'm trying to do. Holy crap, I have yapped. Let's talk about matchups for the week. Dylan Edwards, number 1 fullback. Johnston and Latrell keep doing their thing. I'm not going to argue with it. You know, if you've got them, you're playing them, and you're sort of loving it, right? Like, that's all good. Setu 2 drops in, which is weird. Bostock, okay, he's running off a combination of his scoring, which is 1 game of 100, and then Avarillo's strong floor that he developed at right centre. So yeah, that one is a little misleading, but it's not so misleading that I would fully ignore it. I think Bostock's a start, dude. I liked what I saw. Let's mix the data here with the eye test. He looked pretty good. He's on Izzy Katoa's edge. That's great. He's got Finafuyaki running mad lines, dude, pulling defenders in. There's a genuine opportunity that Jack Bostock could go well. Problem is, How do I determine if he goes well if his average is 100? Well, luckily I build that in so that guys that have that small sample don't completely sway the matchups and stuff, and I'll explain that in a little bit as we go down. Setu 2 pulls in. That's really weird to me that he could have that. It shows that whatever defense he's going up against has been pretty leaky. Jake Clifford, yep. Talty again. I wouldn't overthink that or like put too much stock into Talty. Blake Brayley, that makes sense. He's just dominating. Teague Wilton popping up. That's on form, right? That's on form, Teague Wilton. So, yeah, take it with a grain of salt. I've really loved right back rowers. Like, they've been really strong in their like result on their projections. So they're like someone I have confidence in left. Not as much from memory, but yeah, Teague Wilton, great guy to start if you're in have a platoon, a pedigree. A rotation of back rowers. In the elites, Patrick Herbert slots in. I put Stafford Toa on a matchup play, but yeah, he did not get named today. So Paddy Herbert gets the spot there. That's built up off a range of like Taruva, Toa, and Herbert himself's pedigree. So less reliable there, in my opinion. Kale Arrow climbing up as his average improves, his form improves. That's good. Dufty Jai Gray, I already explained that one. Jenkins, we used to dominate the left wing call out, and he has returned and regressed as we all tried to tell other people in the draft Discord that he would. Things chop and change, like, you know, it's cyclical in the NRL. Things don't always sustain forever. Unless you're freaking the guy from the Warriors, Jackson Ford, they can. Asako's a good one for Classic. I want to get my hands on him. I don't need him to be amazing, but the buy coverage is brilliant, so get on Asako if he has the elite matchup on top of what he's doing and what he offers in the future. I love that. Toya has not sort of been as consistent as I would have hoped, and I think many draft owners would have hoped. That's interesting. Yeah, as I said, 2RFs are usually pretty reliable. I think like IPAP, Dill Lucas are good. Duncan, he's hard because positionally he's swapping and changing. KPP's back. That could be good, but he loses Dewey. But Madden looks like a guy that knows to use his back row, so I would be totally comfortable with KPP. I've got him in Classic. I went early. It has not paid off. I'm holding. I think he's a season-long keeper. Preston has not been a guy to deliver really when his matchup's been elite, but he's on the left now, and that's on Kickow's pedigree, which hasn't been like world beating, so the matchup must be pretty authentic. We'll dive into it in a bit. Snapshot this if you want and go through it yourself. This is more like less good player pedigree, less like guys on form, and more just pure weakness. So like Newcastle can't defend fullbacks or have not been great, so Clint Gutherson gets a big opportunity. St George, Kalen Ponga, no-brainer. So on and so forth. Some low scores from like Sharp and Hunt have sort of lowered the fullback Knights fullback pedigree type thing, so he makes it into elite, which is great, but not quite all the way up at Edwards. First game, Dolphins. I'm going to also swap over to my little sheet, make sure I get all my waiver wire stuff in there, as I said I would. So obviously, guys, Jack Bostock is a huge waiver ticket. He has the gun matchup and the opportunity. He looks pretty good. I think if you're playing buy rounds, Jack Bostock's waiver like value is increased. Is he like a number one ticket? Look, it just depends on your team situation. If your backs are sorted, blah blah blah, I don't think he is a number one waiver spot burn, but he's pretty close to it when it comes to CT Dub, right? He's pretty close to being a guy that's worth one of your high waves if you've been holding, and some of that is just about, one, if you play buys, that's amazing. Two, tiny sample, we don't really know a lot about it. Three, you could potentially trade him on. Some people may be really interested if it goes really well. Hey, go and upgrade him in a trade or upgrade something else. One game isn't enough for me. I know he's done it in other places, and I know the opportunities there. He's running outside Finney, outside Katoa. Finney will go off to Origin, but he won't miss much when someone else slides in there on the right edge there. Yeah, look, it's up to you and how much risk you want to put into Bostock there as a waiver, but I think he is waiverable. It's pretty grim for the Bulldogs, but I don't think the Dolphins, like, that's their own attack sort of thing. I don't think the Dolphins are defending to an extent that you can't feel confident in your Bulldogs like players and starting them, like, and a guy like Jonathan Sura in Classic, the base is there, right? Like, I'm gonna start him in NRL Fantasy. Probably don't have to start him in Supercoach Classic, for me. I don't think my team needs him to, but yeah, I've got no issues sending him in out there if he's gonna kind of get to 40 plus. That's cool with me. Things look good for Herbie. Things look good for Jermaine. I'm getting on Jermaine 100%. Just move my dumb head. I don't think there's any other names. Just checking the. Oh yeah. So the Tupanua thing. So like Tupanua starting there, but it was Curran who will get that. That's really hard for me to figure out. I don't think anyone knows where they'll swap that. But both viable. Both are actually like waiverable, right? Like Tupanua should probably be owned by now because he's an FRF, right? I think Curran might be too. So if Curran is, I wouldn't spend a high ticket because he may not play the minutes he did last time, right? And he also scored a try, which will bump him way up. So Curran, I wouldn't. Tupanua, I would, if I needed him, because I think no matter sort of like what his role is, he's going to get you that 50 plus, I think, generally speaking, with upside for more. Tuala and avoid. I'm happy with Tuala, like, in that spot. I would definitely play him and start him with some level of confidence. Current Tupanua, nothing there on this side. JMK comes in. I think Plath will push Kennelly and play edge or just play lock. I think Plath starts, the JMK comes on, then Plath subs Morgan Knowles and he comes back. I think it'll be rotational and JMK will work up to match fitness. I don't think that's a huge issue there. Cool, next game. Let's just do the waivers real quick so I can talk about the matchups after, but the new backline guy I'm not interested in. I wouldn't really bother stashing the young halfback that's come in, Zane Harrison or whatever. I just let him roll in really deep leagues. Yeah, if you think he'll do something. I don't think the Titans would have a guy in the back there who's going to become a revelation in Supercoach, guys. Cody Ramsey though I think is waiverable. I think a mid ticket. I guess getting a piece of the Roosters is probably worth it given probably their spine apart from Robson doesn't play Origin realistically. Dumb headset just turned off. Teddy deserves to, but I don't know if he will, and therefore I think Ramsey benefits during that period. I don't know what their schedule is off the top of my head, but I think low end waiver, but I just try to get him off freeze. Hey, if you're a Mark owner, that might be different depending on the setup. I think Bostock and Ramsey's my order there for those guys. Tuala probably take, if I'm playing buys, I think Roosters don't play around 12, so maybe Tuala gets a spot above Ramsey. Ramsey's in the more high-powered offense, so okay with Ramsey above Tuala. And then you saw earlier the gun Setu 2, he's like a free agency plug, play the matchup there. I don't want to go nuts on Setu 2 guys, but in Classic you can start him based off that matchup, right? That's how I would kind of approach it. The other call out is Oliver Pascoe in draft, guys. People craving a hooker or desperate for a hooker. Oh, man, he passes the eye test, Oliver Pascoe. Finally, Lockie Illis has been dropped. You guys know how I feel about that. I just feel like, dude, I get you're not that good. I'm not out there to bash all the players, but you can't also be detrimental. Okay, and I'm okay with halves missing tackles and stuff. That's not my barometer for a good halfback. If you're creating more than you're letting in, that sounds stupid, but Ezra Mann, not a good defender, but hey, he offers a lot in attack. And he plays with a certain level of intensity a lot of the time that I like. You see some halves like Blaze Talungi, yardage carries. Dude, I love Blaze Talungi, dude. But Ilias doesn't even run the ball in yardage to at least do something. He's not even doing the kicking. He's not doing any of the game managing. Had a comment about defense. It's if defense is the barometer for a decent half or a 5'8", it's what are we doing, man? He's a handbrake on the left edge shape. He makes mistakes, a lot of mistakes. Dude, don't also be detrimental. So I'm glad he got dropped. That rant over. Hopefully Zane Harrison can just be more fluid, let the ball flow through him, give it to people in better positions, and then don't make tons of errors, please. Don't need you to be the best game manager either. Jaden Campbell was sick at that. Now Jaden Campbell, maybe he's heading towards dual as 5'8". Not sure how that'll go. Moving on. Queensland Para, call out here, Thomas Mikaele, guys. Oh, fuck. You guys know, I was scanning Twitter. I do have one tweet from earlier about him, but I thought I had another one. Maybe X is deleting archive tweets, but I've been frothing Mikaele for a long time. PPM guy. Finally, those minutes are above 50 and looking legit because he's so destructive. Get on Mikaele, that FRF upside if you're desperate is awesome. He's definitely waiverable. Minutes risk, but I've seen this year enough, man. take risks with the minutes. Oh, I missed the biggest thing last game. I'm an idiot. Sorry. I was looking at it right there and reading it and didn't even do anything. Dude, Cooper Bye finally starting. Again, in previous years, I would say, I don't know, like, Howe will come on, Howe will spell Randall will spell Bye. I don't care. Like, just take the risk, guys. Take the risk, I think. Unless you're really cruising and you have a bigger play or just no need for a 2RF. Not being FRF eligible, Cooper Bye, huge hit to his value. Monitor, like, how he fits in with your team, but you just go for it. Don't look back, because we've had enough sitting on our hands this year, missing Sasangi, missing Howe, which now is what it is. Boyd's, like, people would have sat back going, nah, this guy, I don't know enough. I think this is the year for risks. I've been taking it myself and to a mixed level of success, but you just have to go for it. And I think Cooper Bye, yeah, I think he's, like, depending on your needs, potential waiver 1. But that is depending on your needs. I just remembered another guy. Okay, North Queensland Para. Yeah, Tom Mikaele, grab it, get in there. Para. Ronald Volkman scored some tries. I don't really care about it, but maybe he's coming into his own. I did a whole piece on him last year about there's maybe a bit more to him than meets the eye, and then I never saw it and felt a bit embarrassed. Maybe now there is. Clifford for owners in Classic and stuff. Keep rolling him out. If you've got the gun matchup, keep rolling him out. Great for, yeah, this is a good matchup for your cows at home, guys. Drinky is here if you own him. Say, is he a VC option? Yeah, fullback elite matchup, man. Yeah. Alright, this one. Dylan Egan, stashable, startable, waiverable. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure with, like, you know, Sewer and, like, Lewis just got, like, the suspension or whatever, so, like, not sure what his role is going forward. But I couldn't blame you for taking a punt on him. Couchy, the avoid. Man, I don't mind. Like I don't mind the avoid for Couchy. I think he'll just tackle everything. So I'm playing Ryan Couchman despite the avoid matchup, guys. You saw the percentage on avoid as well. Like, it's accurate 45% of the time. That's pretty legit, dude. So, but you're not chasing upside with him, right? So kind of not too phased. Like, just tackle everything, bro. Like, it kind of has a reverse signal to me, but I'm thinking to a different level with it. Dylan Brown, I've loved the eye test, man. Holy crap, Dylan Brown in, like, fantasy, so, like, NRL Fantasy. The buy low on him is closed. People were kind of like, he was like a draft target for me because we really thought he'd get dual at some point. Unfortunately, he didn't, and now I'm still happy to have him, like AE or trade value. Like, dude, he looks sick. His running game, God, if he only ran like that 2 years ago and I needed him to in Supercoach finals in a draft league and he let me down against, like, the Titans or something, did nothing, kill me. Love the green light up for, like, Dylan Lucas, who's a classic target for people. Ponga, draft guys relying on him. Marju, best. Gagai keeps getting indicators, hasn't always been delivering, so that'll be interesting for him. Yeah, that's really it on this one. The waiver wire stuff that we talk about. Yeah, Couchy, Egan. Setu 2 gets the gun matchup on the right, so, like, Newcastle left edge defence, obviously not been great for the right winger to have the number 1 matchup, which is pretty crazy. So, yeah, go Setu 2, dude. He's, like, shown a little bit as well in the last couple of games. Setu 2, physical, kind of low to the ground player. Yeah, spoken about Johnson, Mitchell, and Gray. KL Iro, like, see the 63 conceding metric and then, like, the matchup metric. It's, like, mostly him driving that up into the elite, whereas, like, and the same exists for Latrell. But you can't deny that, like, good players are good players, right? Like, they do their thing. What's more important is Latrell will be running at not Sione Katoa. That will be... why is that pulling? That's so annoying. That should... yeah, dude, see, I do, like, so much work on this and still guys slip through, dude. That is Sifitalakai. Just edit that one live because that's yeah, that cross matchup, and then this one potentially, I don't know if it's Graham Talfa. Oh, it's Campbell Graham in here, isn't it? And then it's Campbell Graham, and then down here it's dude, who is it? It's Edward Cossey. Like, this is good, man. Like, KL. Yeah, that's... ignore the toughest Stone Street Pro with Ed Cossey. And Campbell Graham's a physical dude, but KL could benefit there, so don't mind that. This looks a bit absurdly low. Oh, that's because it's Whiten. So no, that isn't low. Whiten was, yeah, his score would have impacted that. You can see. Cool. I don't think there's any waiver stuff on this one. We've talking about blah blah blah. Oh, Ewan Aitken comes in. I think like he's either on the left or the right, and Kalon Matangi is back into the middle. So yeah, do with that what you will. Ewan Aitken, I think he's potentially playable. Yeah, I think this right is Britton Nickera. I didn't actually double check. I'm pretty sure it is. But you're not going with Nickera anyway, man, until you see something from him. And yeah, you haven't seen it yet. This is probably Cam McInnes too. So a few names wrong in this game. That's fine. There's been a lot of chopping and changing and different stuff going on here. So I'm okay with that. There's no real waiver stuff from this one for me. Waiver stuff from this one, you're just seeing Clayton Fa'alogo. Tough matchup here this week. Might not be the time for him, but I do like what I'm seeing from him. He's doing enough. I think he's like stashable in deeper leagues as a CT dub to do you a job during the Origin period. I don't know if Karapani plays. He's been named. I thought his injury was legit, but yeah. And I thought Antonio Verhoeven, I thought there was an issue with him too, like a week or two ago, because I checked him off in my database as like injured, and now I saw his name, so I had to bring him back out. Ola Kawatu had that elbow thing. I don't think that's like material. He's been named and he'll be fine. So he's definitely a guy to fire up. And like if you're stuck, he's probably captainable in this one, just on form and the way he's playing under the Fosball regime. So he's a go. Just checking out, I have waivers for this one. No, I don't. One guy I forgot, as per, is in the para game. I think Talon De Silva is startable with like the injury to Smith. He sort of just like finds his way to stats, Talon De Silva, when he does play, so I'm okay with that. Sorry, I felt like I was going to sneeze there for a sec. Melbourne West's guys, Jock Madden, if you're the owner of what's his face, Dewey, which I'm really disappointed in for Dewey and Tigers fans. I'm happy for you guys. I've been loving watching the Tigers play last year and this year, and I'm sad that Dewey's out, and I hope that Madden can maintain the form we saw from him when he was filling in for Luai. Tristan Hope did a job and could maybe do another job. I'm not going to like waiver for him, but the matchup's nice. If you are relying on him, you can go for it. Patrick Herbert has the matchup based on a number of different pedigrees, but the conceding is just so big there for him and Taylor May that it just shatters. The level of pedigree is irrelevant when the conceding metric is just so high. Checking the name list. I think we did it. I think we got through like all the key like waivery type names. Twal. Keep gunning it. KPP we spoke about. I think Sione Finu, not the matchup for him, but dude, he's a likely operator. I like him. I'm not sure if he'll play 80, but he's one to stash and monitor, especially if this Samuel Finu owner. You can like do worse than Specky on Sione Finu. Blore favourable, I don't care for, but Lasardi I do like. He's still gettable at 60, scoring the 60, but owners will be happy he got through the game. If he gets through this game, that's he's setting sail, man. If that calf is all sweet, yeah, he'll be good. Joe Chan is not the lock. Thank you very much, system, for pulling in a 2R. That's so annoying. He's not the lock. As I said, guys, there'll be names that are wrong here. Just use your common sense. Check the team list. Know who the lock is. That's going to be somewhat aligned team. On this one, final game of the round. Another Sunday night for Penrith. Cool. Dylan Edwards smashing it in. Like, huge combo of his pedigree and the opportunity. Jenkins also has the opportunity and the pedigree, so he still sits pretty. Casey, nice little blend. Bizza on form. Not as much opportunity, but it's not bad. Cleary on form. IPAP on opportunity. Garner on neither. Yo on form and a bit of opportunity. It's not going to be Adam Mariota, so he shouldn't come through. It'll be Simi Sasangi. So that's great that he's favourable because he's got a big opportunity. It's not an avoid for Hudson Young at all. So there's a mistake here. I'll have to explore. This is actually the first mistake of the day. I do not believe that to be true because we know Hudson Young, so that's pulling someone else's data in there or getting a bit muddy. Oh, there was the injury to Joe Roddy and Noah Martin. So actually, the left 2RF performance... No, that's not true because Sasangi... Yeah, I'll have to fix that one up. So just bear with this one, guys. But I would not avoid Hudson Young at all. Like, he's captainable, man. He's a beast. He's even probably going to get up for this even more so. The back line, yeah, it's the Panthers. Like, just use your common sense if you think they'll go well. The right edge of Canberra, Sasungi. I don't really like Seb Chris though, so I don't back that. But yeah, this isn't Simi Sasungi, so he's still coming in as right centre, which isn't accurate. Yeah, Seb Chris right edge, but they're running at Blaze, so yeah, you got to Simi Sasungi, man. Yeah, he's a go, dude, for sure. I even think Hardy Young is. Look, that's probably it. I've spoken about a few key names. Any questions about like stashes and stuff? Yeah, Jeremiah Nanai backfired with the injury. The poor guy. Mortalo, you're closing in on doing that thing. Cooper Bibe spoke about. Yeah, he's probably the big one. Tom Mikaele, man. So happy. Hopefully he sustains it. Yeah, that'll do it. I'll get this one out to you guys. 26 minutes plus the intro that I stuffed up. Hopefully it's of value to you. If you have your team that you want to be worked on, please DM me and we can do another draft. Doctors Griff and I. The video with Griff and I doing the buy low, sell high did great. That's a lot of views for a little channel of just me. So pretty happy with that. One absolute guru. I thought it was a classic debate. So yeah, just know generally my videos, they're draft related and I'll mention classic where applicable or if it offers like great help. But yeah, we'll do draft doctors again if you want, or we can do another buy low, sell high in a week or two. More than happy to do that. If you've got any other ideas that you want to hear Griffin and I talk about, just let us know. If you haven't already, check out the Draft Oracle. It's linked pretty much everywhere, but best place on my Twitter or the Instagram, sc.draft.oracle. Twitter is upside sc. Yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Hope this helps you. Remember, data is just a side of the story, but it's super fun side of the story, and you can learn a lot and really exploit a lot of cool opportunities with the data. I've done accountability posts for some of the stuff last week, and some of the player recommendations like Alofi Pereira, who's been delivering. There's a few other guys like that. So yeah, check it out. Thanks for listening. See ya.